3, 2, 1, go!
Hello Nidorinos and Nidorinos, welcome to Santaloon City, where today the Bug-type Swarm are hosting the Pewter Stones, the Rock-type side, and both these sides are trying desperately to build some momentum at this stage in the season as Coalossal and Tyrantrum come out onto the field with a huge crash. Pinsir and Sizzle coming out for the Swarm, and Pinsir immediately going for the False Swipe. Coalossal is not a shiny type Pokemon, and it's not very effective either, as Tyrantrum with the Dragon Tail on Sizzle will send Sizzle back to the bench with that not very effective move, and out in its place comes Heracross. Heracross being dragged out here, and Coalossal goes for the Gravity. So this will bring everybody down to the ground with that intensified Gravity. Pinsir now going for the Eerie spell, continuing to go for Coalossal. Is more successful that time. It's also going to lower its attacks by 3, and Heracross now with the Poison Powder onto Tyrantrum. So Tyrantrum will take continuous damage from that poison. That's a good early play there by Pinsir as Tyrantrum, from Heracross. As Tyrantrum goes for the dive, it will hide under in the water as an Electro Ball from Coalossal onto Heracross doesn't do a great deal of damage. Tyrantrum, even though it's underwater, continues to take damage from that poison as a Rock Blast now from Heracross onto Coalossal. It's got 3 hits. That third one there is a critical hit. If it gets 2 more, it could get the elimination. It's got 4. It's gonna get the 5th, and just like that, Coalossal has been taken out by Heracross. A fantastic move there, super effective. Gets all 5 hits as Coalossal is eliminated, and Heracross with that hidden ability, Moxie, does get an attack boost. Mystical Fire will miss Tyrantrum from Pinsir as Tyrantrum with that dive does connect with Pinsir there. Bug-type taking some damage, and as Tyranitar continues to take damage from that poisoning. Now for the Pewter Stones comes Aurorus as Pinsir immediately goes for the Water Shuriken. See if it can get the 5 hits on this move. It gets 2, and it will only get 2 of that super effective move as Heracross now with the Gastro Acid also focusing in here onto Aurorus as its ability is suppressed. And now Tyrantrum with the Dynamic Punch onto Heracross. Not a bad hit for a not very effective move there, and it is going to leave Heracross confused, so that is an added benefit if it pays off. Now Aurorus with the Drain Punch onto Pinsir, also not very effective. Those fighting type moves will not be very effective on the bug types, as Aurorus is able to restore some health thanks to that Drain Punch, and there's Tyrantrum still taking damage from that poisoning. It is going to chip away at it until it's eliminated, as that Attract won't affect Tyrantrum from Pinsir, and Heracross is able to shake off its confusion and goes with the Noble Roar here onto Aurorus. Aurorus is going to have its attack stat lowered as well as that special attack. Tyrantrum now with the Nightshade. It is going to go for Heracross with that move. A good hit there. So Aurorus follows that up with the Quiver Dance now. That is going to boost Aurorus' special attack and special defense as well as its speed. See if it can move faster than those bug types. Tyrantrum continuing to take damage from that poison as the Gravity does return to normal, and Aurorus is the fastest Pokemon on the field now, and it sets up a misty terrain, so that mist will begin to swirl over the battlefield. Don't look for anyone else to be taking any status conditions like Tyrantrum already has, as Pinsir with the Acid Armor. It is going for the defensive boost here, getting that nice big defense boost, as Heracross, still with that confusion, is unable to shake it off and actually eliminates itself in its confusion. That is unfortunate for Heracross, who started off so strong. Tyrantrum now with the Pollen Puff onto Pinsir. An amazing hit there with that Pollen Puff from Tyrantrum, who continues again to take damage from the poison. And Sizzle now comes back out onto the field, and Aurorus immediately with the Fury attack onto Pinsir. This is doing very minimal damage and only hits twice, as Pinsir now sets up the Wrap onto Tyrantrum. So not only is it going to take damage from that poisoning, it's going to take continuous damage from the Wrap, as Tyrantrum now with the Shell Smash is going to lower both its physical and special defenses, but it's going to give a boost in both its attack stats as well as that speed. So if we can capitalize on that with those huge boosts. Now we see Sizzle going for the Hyper Beam, and it goes for Aurorus and does such little, not very effective damage. That is terrible to see, as Tyrantrum does take damage from that poisoning and the Wrap now. But Sizzle is going to have to recharge after doing such minimal damage there. This is terrible for the bug types. Tyrantrum now going for the Curse, so it doesn't actually go for an attack, and it will surely be eliminated by that Wrap, as it does have its speed stat lowered. It does boost its attack stat, though it's already gotten an attack stat boost. As Aurorus now with the Spatial Rend, and it goes for Pinsir here, and it gets the elimination. This is actually going to end the wrap. Tyrantrum might be able to hold on for this turn as the Pewter Stones take the lead, and Sizzle has to recharge, and Tyrantrum does hold on by a sliver. And we have Golisopod now coming out onto the field, and Tyrantrum goes for a crunch with that boosted attack stat. It eliminates Sizzle from the match. The Pewter Stones are starting to build some serious momentum, and Aurorus goes with the cross chop now onto Golisopod. Not very effective attack as Golisopod now with the poison gas, but that protective mist will save Aurorus from being poisoned, and Tyrantrum already being poisoned. It is now eliminated after staying in this match for a good amount of time. Archeops comes on in its place, and Excelgor comes onto the field as that Meteor Mash is avoided by Aurorus from Excelgor. Archeops though with the Venoshock onto Excelgor, a fantastic hit there, and Aurorus follows it up with an Octozooka onto Golisopod. Not very effective there on the bug water type, but Golisopod with the Thunderbolt, if it goes for Archeops, and it does, it is a super effective hit there. Archeops is able to stay on the field there as that mist does leave the battlefield now, and Excelgor with the Freeze Dry goes for Aurorus, who is part ice type, so that is not very effective. But Archeops with the Blast Burn onto Golisopod, that water typing that it has will save it from doing more damage, but with that emergency exit ability, it will go back to the bench, and in its place comes Centiskorch, as Aurorus with the Amber will not be very effective on Centiskorch. I apologize, it will just do regular damage, but a power-up punch from Excelgor onto Aurorus is super effective. So now Excelgor gets the attack boost thanks to that power-up punch, and now Aurorus going for the bind here. It is going for Excelgor. Not going to do a great deal of damage that first time, but it will be squeezed continuously by Aurorus there. And Centiskorch with the Vacuum Wave eliminates Aurorus from this matchup with that super effective move. It is now a 3 versus 3 battle. As we have Gigalith come onto the field with that Sandstream ability. This is going to kick up a Sandstorm and do continuous damage to the bug types throughout this matchup. But before that happens, Excelgor with the Body Slam onto Archeops. Not very effective, but Archeops is almost eliminated and goes for the Bolt Beak now onto Centiskorch. A fantastic hit there, but Centiskorch is going to respond with a Fusion Flare, and it's going to get the stab boost going for Gigalith. It is not very effective on the Rock type, however. You have to think it would have eliminated Archeops from this matchup as the Flower Shield fails from Gigalith. Both Centiskorch and Excelgor taking damage from the Sandstorm, and Excelgor now with the Side Strike and a fantastical looking move onto Gigalith, chipping away here at the massive rock type Pokemon. But Archeops now with a block. Archeops who is holding on in this matchup. Centiskorch with the Eerie spell. They're continuing to go for Gigalith instead of getting that easy elimination of the Flying Fossil. Gigalith with the Stomp though onto Excelgor, a huge hit, and Excelgor is taken out of this matchup as the Pewter Stones take the lead, and Centiskorch continues to take damage from the Sandstorm, and Golisopod now coming out onto the field and is immediately met with a Gear Grind here from Archeops. This is another multi-hit move. It's got 2 hits. See if it can get 5. No, it won't. It only gets 2, and it's not very effective. And another False Swipe in this matchup, which allows Archeops to hang on. This would be a perfect time to catch it if it was a shiny, but the attack order from Golisopod will finish Archeops off. It is eliminated. It is now a 2 versus 2 battle, but Gigalith with the Poison Fang onto Centiskorch puts the Pewter Stones immediately back in front. Centiskorch is eliminated, and Golisopod is all by itself as it takes damage from that Sandstorm. Gigalith is now joined by Barbaracle, who immediately sets up for the Coil. They have the 2-1 advantage. This is fantastic for the Rock types as Barbaracle boosts its physical stats as well as its accuracy, but Golisopod with the Yawn is going to try and put Gigalith to sleep in the coming turns, but Gigalith first goes for the Smoke Screen. This is going to lower Golisopod's accuracy. This is Barbaracle's chance, though. It has that boosted attack stat as Golisopod, continuing to take damage from the Sandstorm, is going to be hit by the Crab Hammer and eliminated by Barbaracle. Even with that not very effective move, the Pewter Stones have won it. They have taken the victory here in Santalune City. Massive for them. And they're going to look to continue that next round when they face the Pheromones. And they've also moved up into the Masters 8. 8th position. Fantastic for them. Santalune Swarm next round will be facing the Bell and the Angels. Both these sides are losing their momentum drastically, as the Humilau Cascade have been building momentum and look to do that in the next matchup against the Shamuti Keepers. The Humilau Cascade have won their last 3 games. They're going to try to make that 4, as it's 11th facing 13th, but until then, Nidorinos. thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will see you when you see me.